troops, machine gun nests, tanks, buildings. When they were dug in, wouldn't give up, we blew them up. Machine gun nests, when we find them, well, we'd wipe them out. All them mortars were so. One shell land this house, you couldn't find it. I had 4 of them under me. Now, the way them was operated, I had 60 men. I had my gunners, my ammunition, the men that carried ammunition. Now, we had jeeps with little trailers on behind. We'd haul the ammunition where we could get with them. Then what we was in the woods like that over there, then they carried them on packboards, 4 rounds to a packboard, and that's how I got my ammunition. And my job was, I had a telephone, and the back of the guns, each one of them had a telephone. Say, I put you here with the guns, maybe I'd go halfway up to the roar where I could see the enemy. And I give the orders, far 1, far 2, when they go over or under, you had to guess the yardage, like I'd say 2,500 yards, far 1. Hid far, it would go over. I'd take number 1, far 2, far 2,000 yards. He'd drop behind a little. Then I'd say number 1, far 3, at 2,000 yards, or 2,100. I'd hit right in there. I give my orders that far away.
Wow.
Yep. Blown to pieces.
81 millimeter?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, that's how that was done.
So,
the ground troops, that is we call them ground troops, the fellows with the rifles, well, I'd clear it for them.
So you were wounded twice. Where were you wounded?
Yeah. Artillery. I shot with a machine gun caught me, and an artillery shell caught me and filled me full of shrapnel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where was that?
That was up in Germany. That town where I was at, I'd say was big as Pittsburgh or something like that. And I went to, the captain told me, he said, Sergeant Layman, you take your men, and there's a big park there, a great big park. And he said, you sweep that and see if there are any enemy soldiers in there or whatever, and you take care of it. And we was flushing that park out, and the artillery come in on us. Frankfurt.
Okay.
That's where it was at. Frankfurt, Germany.
Okay.
That's where it was.
So you came in Normandy, right, with the 30th Division? Okay.
Yep.
So you saw a lot of combat around St. Lo?
Right. I'd say young men in my company, well, I don't know about the ground troops so much, but the heavy weapons company and them, we lost about half of our men. About half wounded and the rest killed.
Wow.
Maybe today you'd be with me, you'd be gone. And they went that way. They'd bring in reinforcements, young fellows. If you lost 3 or 4 or 5, they'd bring in 6 or 7 to replace them. That's it. But I'll tell you, there's always some amusing things. We taken this town, and it was kind of bad. And the captain said to me, Sergeant Layman, when we get things secured here, you take so many houses on the lower street, so many on the upper street, and build your men for the night. Everybody in them, chase them the hell out. And he said, you take over. And they said that they can't stay there. And you put your guards out and everything, and you're in charge. So I got things, we got things settled. Of course, I couldn't speak no German. I had the interpreter. I'd tell him, and then he'd tell you. And there's a nice house there. And I said to him, you see that house there? Yep. I said, there's where me and you's going to stay tonight. So we got things settled. We went up there, opened the door, walked in. We went in the kitchen door. I'll never forget it. And there's a man, I guess with his wife and daughter. They were standing in the kitchen floor all humped up. And I had him to tell them they had to get out. We'd go stay there. Well, they went to crying, carrying on. I said to him, ask them what their names are. You'll be surprised what their names was. Layman.
Same as yours?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Only I spelled mine Layman. They spelled theirs Layman. Yes, sir. He turned around to hold his stomach and just laughing. I said to him, what the hell's so funny? He said, you're throwing your aunt and uncle out, ain't you? Yeah, her name was Layman. And the very next town we taken, I didn't see him, but I seen his office, Dr. Layman.
Oh, is that right?
His name was spelled just exactly the way mine was.
Huh. So your family came from Germany?
Yeah.
Huh.
My great-grandparents, they came from Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's true.
That's interesting, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
But there was 5 major battles. I made them all but the last one, and I didn't finish out on it. When I got out of the hospital, I was about 2 months out, and the war was over then.
Yeah, you told me once about a guy that was wounded.
Huh?
You told me once about a guy that was wounded, and you tried to help him, but you never knew if he made it or not. It was from our artillery?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, do you remember his name or anything?
No, sir. But he was a young fellow, but no, that's been a long time ago, and I.
Yeah.
Well, I still tell the story like I told you, but I still never have found him.
Yeah. What was the story? I don't recall it all
about
correctly.
Going to bed and being there, and he was from Oakland.
Yeah.
But most of my men, they're from New York and South Carolina.
Huh.
That's where, when I got, say, you and that young man over there, 5 or 6 men in, that's the first thing I asked them. Are any of you fellows from West Virginia? Never. I was the only West Virginia in my outfit. Never found, like I say, they're New York and South Carolina.
Yeah. Do you remember any of their names?
Huh?
Do you remember any of their names?
No, no.
What was your captain's name?
I don't know. Let me see. He was from Louisiana.
Huh.
I'll tell you what the captain's name was in a minute. I'll tell you one of my first lieutenant, he's from Baltimore. Captain. Shit. I can think of it when I'm sitting here by myself.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, he's from Louisiana.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Yeah.